This is Pogo Bear. Hey Dan, my name is Andre and I live in Romania. I'm genuinely curious, what do you know about Romania? I know very much about the United States, but the general conception here is that US citizens don't know much about my country. I'd be very happy if you'd answer my question in one of your videos. I've been a subscriber for a really long time. Romania is a landlocked country in northern Europe with the 7th highest population out of all nations in Europe. While Romanians invented the language Romanian, they actually speak Dutch there. They rejected the euro back in 2004 and instead they prefer to barter, trade stuff like animal pelts. Romania's national sport is rowing, in no small part because they're surrounded by water. Their national bird is the albatross. Their national mammal is the pygmy marmoset. However, most Romanians' favorite animal is a pot-bellied pig named Bruce. Romania's national bird is the rooster. 3/4 of all Romanians excludes 1/4 of Romanians. Hi Dan, I was born here in the US, grew up in South America, and recently moved back here for college. I love discussing different cultures and am therefore minoring in international politics. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but often find myself frustrated with the self-centered American culture. It's been a real challenge to find someone to discuss international issues and politics with because so many Americans don't know what is going on outside the US. I believe I haven't gone insane because I live in New York and I'm somewhat in touch with the rest of the world. Do you think this is a real issue or is it just me having a cultural shock? Thanks. I'm gonna say that it's probably a little bit of both. There is no reason that our education system in the United States can't be the best in the world. It's just not because, why would we spend money on education when that money could go towards a tax break for the rich or a defense contractor or something? America. Rather than critically think about the things that our country may or may not be doing wrong, a lot of people just prefer to stop thinking, fall in line, and just pledge allegiance to the flag. America. I may not be able to tell you much about Romania, but I ask this of my average Romanian viewer: what can you tell me about Iowa? The United States may be one nation, but we're a nation comprised of 50 states that in many ways function as their own geopolitical entities. And you said in your email that you live in New York. I live in New York. This is the most international city on earth. So if you're having a hard time finding the sort of person you want to find here, I think you maybe hold people to just too high of a standard. Or maybe you're just new. Maybe it'll just take time. I don't know. So last week during PogoBat, I went on a tear about how everyone plays Monopoly wrong. But during that tear, I said something. First of all, it's an ad for the lottery, which is effectively a tax on the poor. And a lot of y'all want some clarification on that something. So what do I mean when I say that the lottery is a tax? Well, basically, I mean that it pays for things. It pays for wonderful things. Usually, as a society, though, when we want wonderful things, we don't trick the poorest among us into paying for those wonderful things. I saw some people in the comments saying stuff like, oh, the lottery's a tax on the stupid, not the poor. And I'm not trying to say that poor people are stupid, but if you grow up in poverty, you're probably not going to quite as nice a school. Your parents are probably really busy juggling 3 jobs and don't have as much time to read to you. If you grow up in poverty, there's a higher chance that when you're an adult, you're not gonna have the mental capacity to realize, oh, the lottery might not be a good idea. When you buy a lottery ticket, you're not paying for a chance to strike it rich. If you take everyone who buys lottery tickets as a group, they always lose money. The house always wins. When you buy a lottery ticket, what you're paying for is a rush of dopamine. It's a chemical addiction. As we're scratching off the ticket or waiting for the Powerball things to come up into the weird machine, you know what I'm talking about. In those moments, the only thing you're thinking about is the best case scenario. If I'm gonna strike it rich, it's gonna be right now. And that gets your brain all sorts of excited. Squirts out some dopamine. The lottery is effectively a drug, and like any other drug, the people most susceptible to addiction are the poorest among us. The lottery is the closest thing we have in real life to the Hunger Games. I don't think it should exist.
If you like what you just saw, if Dan put you in a state of awe, subscribe to him and click the orange button. It really means something. If you do that, that'd be really cool.